What's going on, everybody watching this? This is my TNA Impact on Pop review. Here it goes. Kicked off with Matt Hardy, the former TNA World Champion. Matt Hardy, the iconic one, whatever. He's not iconic. He's a great tag team wrestler, but not iconic. As a singles wrestler, not iconic. Anyways, Matt Hardy starts the freaking show, comes out with Tigress, Rebby, and I don't think Rockstar Spud was there. I can't remember. Anyways, Matt Hardy talks for a little bit. It was stupid and it was annoying. His promo was very annoying, but I guess that means he's doing his job because Matt Hardy was very annoying. Anyways, after that, after Matt talks, then the Miracle. Michael Bennett, his music hits, and out comes him and his wife, the lovely, the smoking hot, the sexy Maria Kanellis. Now, I guess she's Maria Bennett, but whatever, because she's married to Michael Bennett. So Maria's out in the ring with Michael Bennett. Michael Bennett starts talking face to face with Matt Hardy, saying, "I'm the Miracle here, and you're nothing, and I'm going to be the next world champion. I should get the next shot." The Miracle basically saying he should be the next guy in line to challenge Drew. And then Rebby, Sky, Matt Hardy's wife, and Maria get into it. And they start going at it on the mic, and they start having a mic battle, going back and forth, calling each other names. Is pretty funny. And then after that, EC3, or after Maria and Rebby go back and forth insulting each other, then Michael Bennett and Matt Hardy start yelling at each other face to face on the mic. Anyways, then EC3 comes out to save this segment. EC3 comes out. The guy's great. The guy should be the top star focused on in TNA as the top star. So then EC3 talks for a little bit and says basically, EC3 says he will take on the whole Matt Hardy brand and he'll defeat them. He doesn't care. So then the match is made. It's EC3 up next against three guys: Matt Hardy, Brodus Clay, and Rockstar Spud in a 3-on-1 handicap match against EC3. Pretty decent opening match. It didn't last long because Michael Bennett was watching from the outside, and then he ran in the ring, and it was a DQ, disqualification. Michael Bennett attacks EC3, and then it becomes 5-on-1. So it's 5-on-1 on EC3. And then Beer Money, they come out, make the save, and save EC3. So that was good to see Beer Money make the save. But the minute I heard Beer Money's theme and saw Bobby Roode come out, I got sad. Because Bobby Roode is no longer with TNA Wrestling. I believe last week the news was made public that Bobby Roode asked for his release and he got it. So Bobby Roode, any TNA fans that are watching this, I'm sorry to break it to you, but Bobby Roode is no longer part of TNA Wrestling. So that sucks. And Eric Young is also no longer part of TNA Wrestling. That really sucks. Both guys were great, loyal, long-time TNA originals. Well, they both wanted out, and they got their wish. Good for them. I hope they go somewhere where they get paid, and where they can be somewhere where they are appreciated enough, and not bored with what they're doing, because I think both Eric Young and Bobby Roode were very bored in TNA because they did it all. And there was nothing left for them to do, even though I didn't want to see them leave TNA. It was time for Bobby Roode and Eric Young to go and move on. Move on in their careers. go somewhere new where they never been before, different company, and make an impact in another wrestling company. Anyways, so Beer Money makes a save on EC3, so that was good. Up next, then we had Beer Money and EC3 take on Michael Bennett, Tigress, and Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy pins not Robert Roode. I guess Bobby is Robert. But anyways, Matt Hardy pins Bobby Roode. Pretty good 6-man tag. Could have been longer. Should have been a little bit longer. Anyways, Matt Hardy pins Bobby Roode for the victory for the Matt Hardy brand, whatever their name is. Up next, we had Gail Kim in a backstage interview. The current Knockouts champion, Gail Kim, was interviewed by JB. She talks about Jade last week winning the number 1 contenders match, and she wasn't happy about it. So Gail Kim says she's going to give 2 new people an opportunity to become the number 1 contender. Out comes Velvet Sky and Madison Rayne backstage. And they both thank Gail Kim for giving them an opportunity to become the number 1 contender. So up next we had before Velvet Sky and Madison Rayne, we had a backstage segment, which was pretty boring. It was the Bromance, Jesse Goddard and Robbie E., the Bromance, backstage in the locker room talking to each other, saying they're the greatest tag team left in TNA or something like that. And then Eli Drake comes up, says something to them, and says, "You don't got this." He's holding the Feast or Fired case. I believe it has a title shot in it. He says, "You don't have this, so you're losers." And then Eli Drake leaves. So up next, we had Velvet Sky against Madison Rayne, the battle of the beautiful people. By the way, Angelina Love, she just had a baby. Congratulations, Angelina Love. I'm very happy for you and Davey Richards. I hope you have a great, great life together as parents. You both deserve to be very happy together. I'm happy for you. But Angelina Love is also done with TNA. I heard like 2 days ago she is done with TNA and not coming back and not signing a new deal. She's moving on. So maybe we'll see Angelina Love in NXT. Who knows? She is a great women's wrestler in my opinion. She would add a lot to NXT or the main roster in WWE. I would like to see Angelina go to the WWE because she's been in TNA basically her entire career. It'd be good to see Angelina in the biggest company in the world and get the respect that she deserves as a women's wrestler. And to work on big shows like WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Or in NXT on takeovers. Anyways. So Madison Rayne wins, I guess. Now she's the number 1 contender along with Jade is the number 1 contender. They'll probably have a triple threat. Gail Kim, Jade, and Madison Rayne sometime in the future on a future Impact on Pop. Because they're not doing another TNA pay-per-view until Slammiversary. That's in June. And who knows if TNA will even still be around in June. Because they might not get financial backers that they're looking for. So up next we had a Drew Galloway promo. The world champion talked about Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy. And he said he's ready for tonight. After that, Drew Galloway. I always get Drew McIntyre mixed up with Drew Galloway because McIntyre was his WWE name. Anyways, Pope is up next in the ring, cutting a promo, talking about he has something to say and he's going to the ring to say it. So the Pope is in the ring. Calls out Bobby Lashley and says, He says these people know who I am. They know what I can do. Calls out Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley comes out, is on the microphone, basically saying, Pope, you're out of your mind. I defeated Kurt Angle, and I'll destroy you. And then Bobby Lashley gets in the ring, starts talking down to the Pope, saying, get out of my ring. Just get out of my ring. Get out of my ring. And then the Pope is backing away, turns around, still has a mic. Pope says, no, you get out of my ring. And then Pope starts punching him in the face, knocks Bobby Lashley down. They start brawling. Bobby Lashley gets on top, starts beating the crap out of the Pope. But then the Pope gets up. Lashley tries a spear. The Pope, he misses, goes through the ropes. And then Pope basically says that before they started brawling, Pope was saying they started together in the business, and Pope knows Lashley very well, and he was his friend. And then, as I said, Lashley misses a spear, and then the Pope gets on the top rope, dives off the top of it onto Lashley, onto the floor. That was pretty awesome. I've always been a fan of the Pope. He's a great talker, pretty good in the ring. I don't know if he's still good in the ring because I haven't seen him wrestle in a couple of years. But, in my opinion, WWE really dropped the ball with the Pope. That guy could have been a big star, could have been an Intercontinental Champion, could have been a World Heavyweight Champion when they had Raw and SmackDown separate brands. The Pope, in my opinion, was that good. The guy could talk. The guy had the look. The guy had the skills in the ring. He could have been great in the WWE, but sadly, they let him go. Unless he didn't want to be there anymore. Maybe Pope was not happy. I don't know. But he debuted in TNA in 2010, and then he left for a while, came back as a commentator. I'm pretty sure they're going to go into a Pope-Lashley feud now, and Pope will step back into the ring. It'll be good to see the Pope get back into the ring and put the wrestling trunks on and boots on. So up next, after Lashley gets taken out by the Pope, we have a video promo about the Decay video for about 20-30 seconds playing with a Marilyn Manson video. I guess he's still making music. Looked like a new video to me. A new music video from Marilyn Manson playing and showing clips of Decay. So up next we had JB come out. Jeremy Borash. He was on commentary for the rest of the night with Josh Matthews. I'm not a fan of Josh Matthews. I think he sucks. But when I hear him talk, I block him out of my head. I don't even hear Josh Matthews. I don't even hear the guy when he talks. I just ignore him totally. So he doesn't really bother me because I don't pay attention to what he says. And I don't care what he says. Anyways, up next we had EY, Eric Young, and Bram come out. EY cuts a pretty good promo before the match started. It was good stuff. And then EY and Bram went up against the Bromance. It was a decent tag, not that great, but it was okay. EY and Bram get the victory. Up next we had backstage, I'm showing Grado, or whatever the hell his name is, Grado, I don't care what his name is. The guy doesn't look like a wrestler or looks like he could draw a dime in the wrestling business. Anyways, Grado's backstage, and they say up next is Grado's celebration. I don't want to see what the fuck that was going to be. I didn't want to see it, and I'm glad it did not happen. Because when they come back from commercial, Al Snow, a road agent backstage for TNA, has been for a number of years. Al Snow viciously attacks Grado, and I was damn happy about it. It was good to see. Al Snow has Grado laying on a case with wheels, and then he picks up a pipe and smashes Grado's hand an arm, and Grado's screaming in pain on the ground. Al Snow drops a pipe and goes up to him and says, "Get out of TNA. You don't belong here. Get the hell out of here." That was pretty great and pretty funny. So I guess Al Snow broke Grado's hand or broke his arm, one or the other, and just viciously attacked Grado with a steel pipe backstage. For some reason, I guess Al Snow doesn't want Grado in TNA. And I don't blame him. I don't want him there either. Anyways, good for Grado. He made it as a professional wrestler. Something I could not do and I wouldn't want to do because I wouldn't want to be on the road that damn much. I'd probably get burnt out and go crazy. And go crazy like Brock did in 2004 and want to leave. If I was on the road 320 days a year or more. Anyways, but Grado made it as a wrestler. Good for him, but I do not see Grado as a star at all. So maybe he'll be off TV for a little while with selling his injury. Up next, Trevor Lee, the X Division champion, was standing in the ring with Shane Helms. Shane Helms talks, cuts a promo, pretty good promo, calls out Eddie Edwards, and then starts asking Eddie Edwards, "I want to be your tag partner. You and me together, we can become the TNA World Tag Team Champions because now your partner, Davey Richards, is out with a something broken in his leg or foot, something like that." So Shane Helms basically says the Wolves are one of the greatest tag teams he's ever seen in wrestling history, and he wants to team with Eddie Edwards. And says, "Let's team up." Eddie Edwards says, "I can't give you an answer now, but he will next week, I think." Up next now was the main event of the night. It was for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Drew Galloway defending against Jeff Hardy. This was a pretty good main event, pretty good match. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good. It wasn't bad, that's for sure. I mean, Drew Galloway versus Jeff Hardy tonight was better than how Raw ended last night. That's for damn sure. Because how Raw ended was fucking shit. Having Roman Reigns attack Triple H again. We've already seen that repeated over many times. If you watch WWE, I watch both TNA and WWE, and I watch Ring of Honor and NXT. But anyways, if you watched Raw, how it ended was lame as fuck. So Drew Galloway, Jeff Hardy was a much better way to end TNA tonight than Raw ended. In my opinion, TNA ended better than Raw did. And Raw was only 6 days away from WrestleMania, and they didn't do a better job ending the show than TNA did. And this week is fucking WrestleMania week, and TNA did a better job ending their show. Anyways, what does that say about WWE? It says their fucking creative team sucks. Big time. Anyways, Jeff Hardy hit a swanton bomb during this match on Drew Galloway in the ring. 1, 2, Drew Galloway kicks out. That was impressive. Nice kick out by Drew to save his world title. And then Jeff Hardy goes to the outside, sets up the steel steps, moves them, gets Drew Galloway laying on the steel stairs. Then Jeff Hardy goes up to the top rope, does a swanton bomb off the top rope, tried to hit Drew Galloway. He was laying on the stairs. And then Drew Galloway put his knees up and got Jeff Hardy with knees to the back. It was a pretty insane spot, pretty crazy spot by Jeff Hardy. He looked like he got injured because he was coming down full speed with the swanton bomb, coming down full speed, and Drew Galloway put his knees up. So I'm sure that did not feel good, those knees in Jeff Hardy's back. Anyways, both guys barely could stand and get up. They both crawl in the ring. They're both laying in the ring like they can't even get up. Like they both have beaten the crap out of each other, and I mean, they barely have anything left in the tank. Anyways, they both get up to their feet very slowly, and then Drew Galloway hits his finisher. It's called the Future Shock DDT. Drew Galloway hits his finisher, the Future Shock DDT. 1, 2, 3. Drew Galloway retains the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Good main event, as I said. I thought it was better than Raw's main event segment that they did last night. I'm glad Drew Galloway retained the title. I had no doubt that he was going to. It was very obvious because he just won it. So good for Drew Galloway that he retained the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, after the match ended, of course, we had Matt Hardy comes out. And he starts talking and telling Drew that he will beat him next week for the World Heavyweight Championship. Matt Hardy starts screaming again, "I will beat you and I will get my World Heavyweight title back." And then the fans start chanting, Matt, you suck. Matt, you suck." That was pretty funny. That was a good chant. Anyways, then Drew Galloway gets on the mic. He's standing in the ring after a well-fought victory defending his title. Drew says, "Matt, get your ass in the ring right now and you can have your title shot right now. Get in here." Matt Hardy runs in the ring, starts beating down Drew Galloway, and then, of course, Michael Bennett, Tigress, I believe Spud, Rockstar Spud comes in, and they all start Bram, EY, they all start beating down Jeff Hardy and Drew Galloway. So Bram, EY are helping Matt Hardy again for some reason, beating him down. And I think Tigress was also out there, and maybe Spud. So TNA Impact on Pop ends with Matt Hardy, EY, Bram beating down Drew and Jeff Hardy. In the future TNA tapings, I think in 1 or 3 weeks maybe, I heard we're going to see Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy in a last man standing match. I heard it was pretty brutal, so that match should be good to watch and pretty entertaining. Anyways, Jeff and Drew actually fight back a little bit, and Jeff gets up, hits the twist of fate on Matt Hardy. And then Jeff gets on the mic and says, EY, next week we are going to end this. They're going to end their feud. Jeff says, EY, next week it's you and me and 6 sides of steel. And Jeff says, I'm going to get my revenge, because next week's TNA Impact on Pop is called Revenge. I guess they're calling it Revenge because they do not do any, no longer does TNA do Sunday live pay-per-view events every month. So Revenge is going to probably be their April pay-per-view free on Impact on Pop. So Revenge will probably be their big pay-per-view show for April because, again, TNA does no longer do Sunday monthly pay-per-view events. Hope you enjoyed my Impact on Pop review. The main event was Drew against Jeff Hardy. It was pretty good. If you didn't see Impact on Pop, hopefully this review gave you some insight on what happened. And if you don't watch my review, that's okay. Maybe you taped Impact on Pop and you'll watch it later. Or maybe you'll check it out on YouTube, find it on YouTube, I don't know. Anyways, if you watch this review, thank you for watching my Impact on Pop review. Follow me on Twitter at TNA WWE Guy. And if this review gets 20, 30 views, I'll probably do another Impact on Pop review next week. If I feel like it, if I get a lot of views on this video. If I don't get if I do not get enough views that I'm happy with, I'm not going to bother doing more Impact on Pop reviews unless I really feel like it. Bye for now, everybody. Have a good week.